Casey Concepcion's cooking show. I was like, I ain't no chef, but I got my chef friends to teach me.
What's the proper way to say this dish?
Adobo manok.
Adobo manok. Yeah,
Oh,
there you go, there you go, there you go.
Yay!
There it is. And now you're a chef.
Good morning from Manila, Philippines. I'm gonna try and calm down first of all because I know there's a lot of people here that are watching from Canada and from the US and not exactly from the Philippines or Asia. So I know it is actually pretty late or it's nighttime where you are and I don't want to wake anybody up. But I'm so excited to make what we're making with Chef Jordan Andino today because for the first time, I'm gonna be cooking chicken adobo in public. I know that I've cooked this before and everybody who follows me knows that this is something I love. Every Filipino loves their adobo and every Filipino has their own way of making adobo. So just because today is a beautiful day in the tropical islands of the Philippines doesn't mean that we can't cook all the way from New York. So having said that, today is my day with Chef Jordan Andino or Fork_Knife. He has like all these shows on TV and all these shows and I think he's an amazing chef, but more than that, he's a great friend. So I know everybody's ready to say hi to Chef Jordan. I'm Casey Concepcion, if you don't know me, and you're not from the Philippines or you're not from Asia. I'm all the way here, but I do fly back and forth Los Angeles and the Philippines. So let's get Jordan on board.
What's up?
Oh, we're finally together. We're finally here on IG. Live.
It's Friday night over here, so I'm getting like wild tonight. It's going crazy.
You've been making me real jealous with all these drinks. And are you drinking George Clooney's tequila or what?
I am Japanese whiskey, Friday night special. We're classy in the crystal today. And
Bougie. Classy.
It's gonna be a good one.
Well, I'm having ginger
tea.
A classic Asian drink to start your day. It's amazing for 11 in the morning. But so, Chef Jordan Andino, the master chef, the amateur, Casey Concepcion. So let us know why you thought about chicken adobo.
Here's the thing, right? As Filipinos, I personally believe that we share a lot of our culture, we share our love for family and friends and good times, but it all kind of comes together in one dish, the national dish of the Philippines, adobo. Except, we'll talk about all the ways that I'm butchering, saying it, cooking it, and all these other things because I'm not from Manila.
But you are half Filipino, or you are full Filipino, right?
I'm full Filipino. My mom
by blood.
Yes, so my mom is Cebuano, my dad is from Batangas, and so I'm the first generation. But other than that, I need to be more Filipino. So you're helping me. Thank you for helping me become more Filipino.
So you're learning to be Filipino, but you know what? This dish actually does not just go for like if you have Asian taste. Like I feel like this might be a little Latino actually, because if people don't know, the Philippines was colonized by Spain for like 300 years. So there's a lot of like, well, you would know about this too in culinary. There's a lot of like Spanish influences in all of our food. And chicken adobo, like Jordan said, is cheap, simple, so easy to make,
and delicious. So okay, so let's do this.
Okay, let's go.
Chicken adobo, which you can also find here in New York City at my restaurant, Flip Siggy. So everyone, first up, let's get all our ingredients ready and together. Let's first have our chicken.
Okay, so I got my chicken.
Perfect. Next up, do you have soy sauce?
Of course! You know,
Boom.
I never even have to go to the market to get all these. I feel like I just looked in my cupboard and everything was there because these are like staple Filipino ingredients.
I didn't shop for anything. The only thing I got was chicken. Everything was already in my pantry, no joke. All right. Next up, you have the vinegar. Shout out to all the Filipinos.
Because I have this vinegar every single day, I am actually using apple cider vinegar for today. I hope you don't mind. It's not authentic Filipino.
Oh no.
It's really healthy for you. But listen, it's a collab. So you do the Filipino vinegar and I'll do my healthy vinegar alternative, right?
Deal. Now, do you have
Sriracha? You're not the only I do.
Boom. And then do you have oyster sauce?
Yes, I do.
You got everything ready to go. I love it.
You know, I got ready at 8 in the morning, no coffee, just my ginger tea, and that gave me the energy boost I need.
Bay leaves. Bay leaves.
Got them.
Boom. Okay. And then garlic.
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
What is a Filipino kitchen without garlic?
Yes, I love garlic so much. It's right here. There's the garlic, everyone, right there. Okay, so first up, can you please heat up your pot on high heat right now?
Yes, I can do that.
So if you're cooking with us, what we're doing right now is We're gonna get our pot heated up and like let it sit so it builds the heat. Then we're gonna add up the oils to get it nice and hot as well so that we can start browning the chicken. What browning the chicken does, it kind of shocks everything together, makes all the proteins and everything come together, and then we're gonna give it some additional flavor using that. And as the muscle releases, that makes way for all the flavors to go into the meat, okay? So that's kind of
amazing. We love using chicken thighs for this, right?
Definitely chicken thighs because they stand well for braising. They have incredible natural flavor, and not just that, they have like the bone and the skin, and just adds to just everything to it. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Ready?
So
this
is really hot right now. I can feel the heat.
Okay. Add your oil. Okay. Once the oil's added, now you're gonna throw your chicken right into the pot.
Right away.
Right away.
Okay.
Okay. And then at this point, oh yeah, wow, yours gets hotter much quicker than mine. Okay, next, now you're gonna throw your fresh crushed pepper. I forgot to ask you about that. Okay, good. So you're gonna put about half a teaspoon.
Is a pinch equals 1 teaspoon?
I think the measurement is 4 pinches equal a teaspoon. Basically, just season. Okay. Season the top layer. Just season the top layer of pepper.
Okay, I'm seasoning. This is good.
You don't need to put that much because the beauty here is that the Sriracha is gonna add some of that flavor as well. So once it's in, all you gotta do now is just stir everything until the chicken starts to get brown.
Okay.
What you're doing now is just getting the cooking process started.
All right, okay.
So stir it all around, yep, just like that. Then it should start to kind of brown a little bit or turn to like an opaque off-white.
Yep.
Yep, just like that, okay?
That's what's happening.
So now at this point, what we're gonna do is add the garlic right now. Add the garlic right now. In your case, you sliced up 3 garlic cloves, right? Okay, so this is the equivalent, and what I do is I keep my garlic pureed in oil, and then I just have this ready because I'm always cooking, so that I can just keep this and like use it all the time.
Jordan, that's a genius idea.
Especially if you're cooking.
I think I'm gonna do that right after this. You gotta teach me that on FaceTime or whatever. That is amazing. I mean, I love my garlic in everything, and apparently it's really good for like your respiratory system, which is very important these days. And it just adds so much of that flavor to like every meal.
It's perfect, and it bypasses all of the like the hassle of peeling the garlic and then doing all of that. Now it's just always ready and it doesn't go bad. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Now add the Sriracha and the oyster sauce.
Okay, so Sriracha in first.
Yep, it doesn't matter. You can add both at the same time.
And the oyster sauce.
Yep.
Wow, I've never actually cooked adobo with Sriracha and oyster sauce. What do these do?
Great question, great question. I find that it brings out the sugars, and the sugars bring the caramelization and add to like the deeper, darker flavor in the adobo. Those 2 ingredients kind of elevate this adobo to another level, but it's also what makes it not as traditional.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our soy sauce and our vinegar.
Got it. So this much soy sauce, right?
Yep, that's good. And then you're gonna put 2 times that amount of vinegar.
Oh, 2 times the amount. Okay, got it. So if that was the soy sauce, I do 1 and 2.
Perfect.
Obviously, Filipino vinegar comes in all different forms. There is that white, super sour vinegar that people love, but there's also coconut vinegar over here. People make coconut vinegar, and that is so good too. I've never actually cooked adobo with coconut sap or coconut vinegar, but it's widely popular here in the Philippines, and you can have it with chili peppers, you can have it with garlic, you can have it with salt and pepper, you can have it alone. I mean, coconut is so good for everything. But today I'm using apple cider vinegar. Well, Jordan, all the way in New York, uses an actual Filipino white vinegar we like using for adobo, because adobo is not complete without this kind of vinegar. But I'm choosing to be extra healthy.
Okay, so hold on. So I'm looking at your chicken. There needs to be a little bit more. What's the Tagalog word? Sabaw? Is that right?
Yeah, you want more sabaw? Like soup?
A little bit. Yeah.
Soup?
Well, right. Isn't that like the juices that come from it, or is that just? Am I completely off?
Oh yeah, that translates to juices too.
I'm learning. Okay. So I would say put a little bit more soy sauce in there.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So I would say the same amount that you put, add 1 more.
So it's basically equal parts now.
Yes. In this case it is, because I'm seeing it in like cooking takes editing and like, you know, just like feeling out kind of where you're at. So as I'm seeing the liquid boil, you want it to be sitting in a liquid so that it's steaming and boiling. I don't know if you can see mine right now. I'll bring it over to you. It's like bubbling a little bit. Can you see that?
Mine is kind of too. Should I put it on higher heat?
No. That there's enough liquid, but I think yours
There's a lot of liquid. Look. Yes?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry.
Go.
So this is it. We're almost done. That's the best part about adobo. It's super easy. So what we're gonna do now is throw in your bay leaves. You can put them right in, two pieces.
So bay leaves are called laurel in Tagalog. They're usually dry. Do you like them dried or do you have like a bay plant?
I've actually worked of a true like plant. I honestly have no idea what the plant is, but I've used it before.
Okay.
But mine, the ones that I keep in the house are all like dried. I think we have the same
Okay,
ones.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that looks great. That looks good. Okay, so now throw on a lid, and then that's it.
A lid. Oh, you want to
Yeah.
cover it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Turn on the lid and then put it down
So
to medium
easy.
low. Medium low.
Okay, so
And then that's it.
so if my height is 9, do I go down to like 7, 6?
I go down to like 5.
And then how long do we leave it in the
About
on 5?
It's gonna cook like
in
this
medium
for like
heat.
25 minutes, and then we're done.
No freaking way. Okay, this
I
gives
know.
me so much time to ask you questions. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I am in Casa Cristina. My real name is
Okay.
Christina. People call me KC. And I feel like I met you in the Philippines, right? So
Yes.
you were born in Canada and you grew up in Canada and the US, like merged.
Yeah.
And then when was the first time you actually came all the way to the mainland?
So I've only been twice to the Philippines. Once when I was 10, and then once 20 years later when I was 30.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
But
Yeah,
when I
it
met
was.
you, we met here, and you were doing something for DOT, the Department of Tourism. Jordan was actually campaigning to support Philippine fare, like to support like local Philippine food. And I feel like Asia, in a way, is like Southeast Asia at least, is the place to be these days because it's just there's so many things to discover over here, like so many flavors, so many like young entrepreneurs trying to like just create so many different things. And I think it's amazing, Jord, how the world is so small in a way because of like the internet and all of these like global Filipinos like you. And I just wanted to know like what other things do you want to discover about the Philippines?
Hold on. First of all, you're very good at like drawing out like the good info and the interview questions. As someone who always asks the questions, it's nice to be on receiving end. But anyway, I would say that as someone who lives from US and from Toronto, and if anyone from Toronto's there, Toronto, woo woo. Anyway, I've always wanted to come back to the Philippines and just learn more about where my family has come from. So if that means learn more about where my grandmother, my lola and my lolo and my titas all grew up, what real authentic Filipino street food is, what food is from my cousin's house around the corner, what different types of lechon taste like. I just wanted to learn more just in every element about the music, about the culture, just about last time you're telling me that Tagalog, or sorry, not Tagalog, Christmas lasts 6 months.
Yeah. I feel like so many Filipinos who live abroad, not just in America, not just in Canada, just even Europe or anywhere in the world. And even Filipinos here, including me. I mean, I studied in the US for middle school and then I went off to France and studied in Europe for college. And like, I lost a lot of my knowledge, really started to pick up after I left these countries and came back here. So I've been here for 12 years now, and I feel like you just want to get to know more about your country the more you're exposed to a different one. And you're not the only one who feels that way. You're not the only one who wants to know more about our Filipino roots. I mean, there's so many people here right now, and I'm giving you a shout out right now if you're a third culture kid, which means your parents came from one place, but you're growing up in another.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're third culture kids. I grew up with third culture kids. And I think food, which you would know and probably agree with me, food is one of the best ways to get to know a country, to get to know a person. I mean, there's so many different ways of doing things. I know some people have a longer adobo process. So we're all really excited because Chicken Adobo is a crowd pleaser. This is something you can serve to people as an introduction to freaking Filipino fare. And chicken adobo is like high-low. Like you can serve it for a fancy dinner or you could have it by the beach on banana leaf with rice. I mean, it's so versatile, right?
I know. So here's the thing. What I love about adobo is that there's so many different ways to make it. So many people from different parts of the world have taken different elements of different cuisines. And then not just that, all the beautiful islands of the Philippines, each region has its own type of adobo. Sometimes you use annatto seed. Sometimes you use coconut milk. Sometimes it's only with fish, only with pork. Sometimes it's dark soy sauce, mushrooms. Like there's so many different ways.
I've tried it with cayenne pepper. I've tried it with shiitake mushrooms. Like, there's just so many ways, but the best is the simplest. Like vinegar, soy sauce, whole peppercorns, chicken, and bay leaf.
But it really is. And like, there's something to say about like simple, making it like just taste kind of different and elevated, because I feel like actually you going to school in France, you know, you've learned and you've seen all these kind of complex structures and ways of cooking, but sometimes simple is better, you know, you don't need to do 45 steps, but both ways work, you know?
Exactly. Even when I was living in Paris, I was there for like 5 years, and Japanese food, like sushi, it was crazy. Like it just boomed when I was living there. And then there was a movement for Thai food. It was all of a sudden Thai food everywhere. And in my head, I'm thinking, where is Filipino food in all of this, you know? And people say Filipino food is such a mix of cultures. You see it in like the stews, you see it in the sauces, you see it in the spices and the herbs and all of that. And it's like you have Spanish influences and then you have Chinese influences, and it's not as specific as, let's say, you think satay and you're like, oh, Indonesia. Or you think like chili crab and you're like Singapore or whatever. Or you think lemongrass and you're like Thailand, you know? And the Philippines is more like a mix. And that's so representative of what we are as a nation or what we are as people. Like, it's such a mix of cultures, and it's got some Latin flair. It's like the only Asian country with Spanish Latin flair.
I love it more than anything, but we gotta check our adobo.
I can smell it. I can smell it. It smells so good.
Okay,
let's go back to the kitchen. Okay, I'm back.
So at this point, your pot should be boiling, so lift it up. Here's a quick trick. When you lift up a lid to a boiling pot, lift it up like so it's blocking your face so the steam goes away. Like this, watch.
Okay.
So try that. Yeah, nice. Be careful, there you go. So just stir it around. There's enough liquid, that's looking good. I'm just stirring mine around so that some of the pieces are fully submerged in the soy. Once I flip it, I'm gonna put it in and we're just gonna leave it there for another 10 minutes and we're done. That's it.
Okay, cool. So cover again?
Yep, cover again and then let it sit and then we can get back to our conversation.
Okay.
Where's your tea?
My ginger tea and your tequila, huh?
Yes.
Trying to one-up me?
Everyone, if you're watching, 11 a.m. in the Philippines, 11 p.m. here in New York on a Friday night.
And 8:30 p.m. in California.
Yeah, it's all kind of different. But either way, cheers to your tea and to my tea and whiskey.
Thank you. Thank you for rubbing it in my face. Thank you so very much for that, Jordan.
So, what kind of adobo did you grow up in? Like, what are you used to? Like, did your tita, lula, mom, anyone, whomever, like, what did you guys do?
So my grandma and my grandpa both cooked in the kitchen a lot. Every Sunday, like, they would have these things called reunions, like big family reunions, which they have in the Philippines. And so, you know, my Lola actually she's Kapampangan, so Kapampangan from Pampanga, which is a province in the Philippines that loves their food. It's like they're known for culinary. And she would make it like, it was thick, actually. You can make adobo with all different meats, right? And I remember crazy because my grandpa, he had like Chinese friends. You know how they believe in like, oh, if you want to be like dynamic and like full of strength, like you got to eat horse meat. So I remember I was shocked, but I guess people do this. They actually prepared horse meat adobo for my grandfather as like a medical health elixir thing. And I was like, damn, I know I like adobo, but I don't know that I can eat horse adobo. But I guess some people in that generation do. He had a long life. He was in his 90s when he left. And, you know, that was
horse
that
adobo.
Really, that made such a huge impact on me. And I didn't eat adobo for a while after that. And it wasn't until my grandma made adobo with just really simple ingredients. And she made chicken adobo with chicken thighs, so all that fat was there. It was the most simple, most amazing dish. So it's actually all of this without the Sriracha and oyster sauce. And then hot rice, jasmine rice, I think, and that was that. She would actually cook in, they call them palayo, in a clay pot. So that was the secret sauce. Put a lot of sauce on it. That changed all that flavor. Have you tried cooking in a clay pot?
I've never, but I feel like that would change it, especially reusing it time after time as well. Oh my God.
And then you eat on banana leaves. She would prepare them by the swimming pool or by the beach. She loved going to all these like ilog rivers, and we would set up a bench, stools, eat in the middle of the water with like the, you know, the stones and everything there and waterfalls, and we would find a spot and set it up with like banana leaves and mangoes, because the sweetness of the mango just goes with the saltiness and the sourness of that adobo, and it was just amazing. So good.
Oh, it's funny, like anytime I hear a story, like even that story right there of adobo, like I feel as though I'm almost tasting it. Like that's what adobo does. People love it because it reminds them of the best times. Oh, I can't wait to eat it.
Exactly.
I can't wait to eat it right now.
Smell it. I can't wait for people to recreate this at home. Like try this at home. Have it with the best white jasmine rice or whatever white rice you can find. Steamed rice, plain and simple. Have a nice glass of red wine. I mean, what does adobo go with if you want some extra something?
That's a good question. I've literally,
I think
because like
with
I've only ever had, well, with tequila, I think it would actually. You know what? Hold on, I'm gonna put a little bit of whiskey in there. I feel like a little bit of whiskey, just a little bit. I don't know. I've never done this before, but I just want to try it just a little bit.
I mean, don't people do that? You're a chef, right? I mean, you're like a legit professional chef with all this experience. What does liquor do in your stew?
So here's the thing. What it does in the end, it just adds another layer of flavor. So on alcohol, whether it be vodka, whether it be wine, whether it be whiskey, and you use that to deglaze. Or what that means is when you're cooking without a lot of moisture, you're gonna end up kind of almost burning things to the bottom of the pan. And the thing is, those burnt pieces of food, it's not burnt at all. It's actually called fond in English, but in French, it's called sucs, S-U-C-S. And so what you do is you deglaze, you add water, and all of that flavor goes into the broth using whatever broth that you use. So you can use wine, you can use whiskey. So in this case, we're just gonna kind of mimic that, but just add flavor to the overall dish. I don't think it'll hurt.
No, not at all. I feel like with cooking, because it's so simple, there's so many ways you can play around with it and still get that authentic taste.
Oh, mine smells so good,
idea.
and now it has like a note of whiskey coming in. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Now, a lot of people don't consider like this authentic just because you use, or I use these two things, oyster sauce and sriracha. Now, are you a purist? Do you think, are you allowed to mess with adobo, or do you think it should only be
let me tell you something. I tried cooking adobo with balsamic vinegar because it tasted amazing, by the way. Delicious. And Filipinos can be very protective of Filipino recipes. So you will never get any peace if you serve your version of your Filipino dish with like all the other things that you put in it that make it so good. Even if it comes out like so delicious, you will never feel the peace that you are looking for. You serve these things to Filipinos because they get so protective of how it's supposed to be made. And I'm sure I'm gonna like, I put apple cider vinegar in mine, and I am so sure Filipinos will have something to say about that. But you know what? It's okay, because as long as you get that flavor and you get the base and you get all of that, like the heart of it, and it's to your taste, I mean, I think it's good. It's like coffee. I like my coffee pure. I'm a purist when it comes to coffee. I like it black, no sugar, no cream, no milk, nothing. I'm not about to go to somebody having a frap and like messing the vibe. I'm gonna be like, I'm very happy for you. You do you. So I feel like whiskey won't hurt. I mean, a little splash of whiskey for the soups and all of these, like the glaze and all. I mean, there is something to learn from Filipinos who like to actually make their versions of Filipino dishes.
I will say, I had it with coconut milk. It was the first time I've had it. It's good with coconut milk.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some Filipinos, there's a book called The Little Book of Adobo. I can't find it right now, but I did not realize how many versions of adobo we can make. People make adobo with coconut milk. And some people make adobo with no soy sauce. Just the vinegar and the pepper and the bay leaves. It's called adobong puti. Puti means English. Puti means English. Puti means English in Filipino. You know what's funny? Indonesian, because Southeast Asia is so like, we're all like neighbors here, right?
Yeah.
Like, an Indonesian feels like a Canadian. For Americans, Canadians are like neighbors. And then for us, it's like if you're Thai, you're a neighbor. Nasi puti is the name for white rice in Indonesian. Nasi meaning rice and puti meaning white. And puti also means white in Filipino. I was like, I just thought that was interesting.
This is why I like doing this, especially with you, because, you know, bringing me back to the homeland and just helping me understand more about it. Because like my Tagalog is the worst. My accent.
Oh, come on. It's not hard to learn. I have blonde hair, blue-eyed friends who've been in the Philippines for maybe 4 years. And they speak Tagalog now.
No way.
No excuses.
Let's start here. How do you say the dish we're making? What's the proper way to say this dish?
Adobong manok.
Okay, wait. Okay, ready? Adobo
Okay.
manok.
Yes, manok is chicken in Tagalog, and adobo is the stew. So you would say adobong manok.
Adobo manok. There you go. I said it. I can now say it properly. Oh man.
Yeah, but you know, it's not hard. Like, I feel like you just need to expose yourself to all things Filipino.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I think it's done though, because it's 11:40. It's been 25 minutes. I think we're ready to rock. You want to check it out?
Really? Yeah, let's rock and roll.
So right now, turn off your heat all the way off.
Done.
Okay.
Hands
So,
up.
Hands up. Time's up. Okay, everyone. So here's where we're at. So you should have everything's off. All the flavors have kind of melt together. Open the pot up once again so that the steam lifts away from you. That way. There you go. Okay. And now, here's a great indicator to know if the adobo is done. When the chicken is done, you'll know that because the meat starts to pull away from the bone. You can kind of see that the meat has pulled away from the bone a little bit. So that's how you know that it's done. So see how the meat is kind of being pulled away from the bone? That's how you know it's good. There's a nice kind of glaze in there, and that's what the sugar does here. So like by using the Sriracha and the oyster sauce, that sugar kind of creates that nice glaze to it. So that's why it looks nice and shiny.
Oh, amazing. I think one of the secrets is to use chicken bone in.
Yeah.
So that was something I didn't do today. I got
it's okay.
thighs that were already like filleted. But I guess, does the bone do something to the flavor, Jord?
Yes, when you're cooking with bone has a lot of natural collagen or gelatin in it. Well, collagen turns into gelatin. And so what ends up happening is that goes into the sauce, and that's what creates that kind of viscous sauce that you need. Oh my God, there it is. I see it all through. There you go. Love it. My turn. Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
The sauce looks divine. I mean, you see like
that
little
looks
oils,
perfect.
right? You
Oh,
see all the oils, and there is a pigment of red in this viscous sauce. Thank you to the Sriracha.
Yeah. I also love how you're getting like the top judging thing going too.
Because it's funny, because this started out with us just being like, hey, want to cook with me? And I was like, yes, I want to cook with you. And then like, Concepcion's cooking show. I was like, oh, I ain't no chef, but I got my chef friends to teach me. Actually, they were like, Casey, dami pang sabaw ng adobo mo. I'm telling you, Filipinos, they're coming to get me. They're like, you still have so much soup in your adobo. What do you say to that?
Okay, well, no, that looks good.
I like my adobo with stew. I like it with soup, with sauce.
Okay, here's
some
what mine
people like
looks
it
like.
dry. Some people like it toasted. They have this thing called adobo flakes, right? So a lot of people actually sell adobo flakes in a jar.
I've had those.
They dry up the sauce.
Oh.
But
good.
I like mine with sauce.
Yeah, I want mine all with the sauce. So, okay, hold on. Did I mess up by calling it sabaw? Because I thought that's what it's called.
No, sabaw literally means soup. The
Well,
adobo glaze is legit on yours, George.
So here's the thing. My pot was a little bit bigger, so the heating element was different. And then I also used my mushroom soy, which is naturally thicker. So I think that's what it is.
Right.
Oh my God, hold on. It smells good though.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
it smells so
so
good.
we need to like build our plate, right? And make it look kind of like presentable so we can eat dinner,
Okay,
right?
I've never
Okay.
had to plate anything, so maybe you can teach me. That's
Okay.
part of cooking, right?
Okay, so we're gonna do something a little fun here, and this is something that you and I didn't plan, and I'm springing this on you right now. So I apologize for it. Okay, do you have like a
Plate?
ramekin? Yeah, get a nice plate like that, and do you have a ramekin that looks like this?
I might. I have a dog bowl. I won't do that over there. Wait, that's funny. Yes, I do actually. Who knew?
Okay. Nice. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a little bit of oil, just like a couple of drips of oil, and you're gonna put it on the bottom, and then you're just gonna rub your finger so that it coats the inside of it. Okay.
What
Like
is
this.
going on here? This is chef stuff. Okay, I
Yeah.
have this. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so just coat it so that it coats the bottom and the sides. Then what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your rice and you're gonna put it into there and then pat it so the rice fills it and it's even, comes to the top. I'll show you what I mean. At this point, you might know where we're going with this. So now I put it in. I'll use my adobo spoon, but it's okay because you won't see the bottom. So I'm patting it down, and then what I'm gonna do is, watch this, ready? You're gonna take this, once it's patted, you're gonna
Right.
put it onto the plate, right down. I'm gonna put it off, like a little bit off center, like this.
I see.
And then I'm just gonna do
It's a cup.
this.
It's a cup of rice.
And that's how you get your perfect kind of serving of rice.
Oh,
just
that's
like
how they do it.
That's how they do it.
Do you know how I know that?
How?
I mean,
How?
I didn't know that's how they did it, but there was a time that almost all Manila people were on a diet. And the number one rule was only eat half cup rice. So they would go, oh, half cup rice lang ha. They're like, just have half a cup of rice with every meal. That is the number one diet rule. This is before keto. This is before intermittent fasting. This is before all of that. The number one diet rule for Filipinos trying to lose weight was half cup lang. So that just reminded me.
No. The crazy thing is, this is exactly 4 ounces, so it's exactly half of a cup. Well, at least mine is. I think yours is.
But I think it's interesting that you would coat the ramekin with oil.
So here's why.
I didn't even know this was called ramekin.
Well, typically they can also be called souffle cups, but you put the oil on the base.
How does it?
Here you go, just no. Yeah, there you go.
I got it.
It is. So now take your spoons and you're gonna find the nicer pieces, I guess you would say, of the adobo, and then you're gonna put that kind of offset. It's like leaning onto the rice, but also resting on the plate, so it looks kind of fancy, like this. And then the last part is the sauce. But here's how mine looks.
What? That's so simple, but looks fancier than how I would have done it.
There you go. That looks good.
So when you plate, is that part of culinary school or whatever? Like, do they teach you that?
It's funny because, so here's the thing. I never went to culinary school. I'm not like classically trained. But the thing is, when you're plating, that's where the art comes into it, where the creativity comes into it. Because there's really no wrong way to plate. Classic French is high, tight in the middle, similar to what you and I are doing right now. But then there's the modern types where it's kind of flat out and you use every inch of the plate. There's no such thing as rims. So it's like, you know, there's a bunch of ways to do it, but yours looks exactly how it should.
I'm gonna pour some sauce over the rice.
All around, okay? Pour it all around. There it is. And now you're a chef. There it is. I'm doing the same.
I think everyone in quarantine and on lockdown feels like they're becoming chefs now.
There you go,
God,
people.
So good.
There it is.
And if you want to garnish just to make it look better, what do you use? Do you put greens in it?
Yeah, in this case, you could use scallions, although there's no onion in it. That's kind of weird. Fried garlic chips work really well. What I just did, and what could work as well for you, although you can't eat it, I actually take the bay leaf and use it as a garnish because it's natural. It comes in it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like a nice little hat and topping here.
Ta-da!
There it is, guys.
There's our chicken adobo!
There it is. Okay, we need to take a bite now. We need to make sure that it passes our test.
There's one secret my grandmother used to tell me.
Okay, what?
Adobo actually tastes better the day after and the day after that.
True. It only gets better, 100%. Here's why.
What makes it?
The meat soaks it all up, and then it just kind of releases, and then soaks it up more, and releases and soaks it up more. So by the 3rd or 4th time you heat it up and cook it, it just has this, the flavors permeated from the outside to the bone, so it's just flavor all around.
Yeah, oh, that sounds good. I can't wait to do this 3 days from now. Okay, let's try.
So I'm gonna take a...
truth.
Well, I'm gonna have a fork and spoon because isn't that the only way to eat it as well, right?
Yeah, but hello, your fork knife.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh wait. Oh, I'm going. Oh, sorry. Yes. My bad.
Wow. Oh wow. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye.
She likes it, everyone. She likes it. Not bad, right?
There's something with that Sriracha and oyster sauce where you don't actually taste it, but it's a whole different like flavor altogether.
That's it. That's like,
you know the emoji with the brain? That's who I am right now.
I think that's what it is. It just like, it still makes it all familiar and good, but it just adds this kind of level that you don't really know, like that extra kick, the sweetness. You don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
It's bomb. Thanks for teaching me a new way of making adobo. I mean, chicken thighs, chicken breast, mix it all up. You can also use pork, I guess, for this if you eat pork. And what other things can you make with this exact recipe? That's not chicken.
I mean, honestly, you could literally use every single type of meat. The only difference is here is if you have something that's a little bit more, call it tough and like a braising meat, like your short rib, you would need like 2 hours to do it. But otherwise, chicken, pork, perfect. And everyone, you're asking about the whiskey. You can't really taste it. I think all of the soy and vinegar just kind of overpowered it. But let me tell you, this adobo is just bold. It's beautiful. It's tasty. Definitely go ahead and try it for sure.
Well, I can't wait for everybody to actually make their own version. Tag me and tag Jordan. You can hashtag Fork Knife Live or Kitchen Collabs Live, whichever. And we're really excited that you guys have joined us. I feel like Jordan, all the way from New York, I mean, it is midnight there. Thank you for being with us. We know it's super late. You're going to have that for breakfast and lunch and dinner tomorrow. And I'm going to have
literally
it
all
for
three
lunch.
meals. All
I
three
know, right? Well, it is lunchtime here, so I'm going to go and have my chicken adobo, Jordan Andino style, for lunch.
Oh. The rice on the first one, and now this.
I'm going to tell you something. In the Philippines, we're so superstitious, right? There's a superstition that if a spoon falls to the floor, it means you're going to have a visitor, a female visitor. So, since a spoon fell to the floor, every time growing up, a spoon falls to the floor, they're like, ay, mi bisita. Oh, somebody, you're going to have a guest today. Just prepare for a guest. There's a female guest coming. If it's a fork that falls to the floor, it's a guy. So it actually happens. So I'm going to let you know if I have a guest coming later.
I need to know.
I'm going to serve her some chicken adobo when she comes.
Casey, that was so much fun.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for doing another kitchen collab with me. I really loved having you in my kitchen virtually. And everybody who joined us, thank you for being with us in our kitchen.
Happy eating, y'all. Bye.
Bye. See you later, George. All right, guys. Well, that was Chef Jordan Andino, Fork Knife on Instagram. Thank you so much, Instagram, for having us. And I just want to thank you all for joining us. Bye.